Welcome to the Know, I'm Mica Burton.
I'm Gus Sorola.
Bad news, Deus Ex fans.
Oh, no.
The franchise is on hold. Why? Because apparently there aren't enough Deus Ex fans. Gus already blamed me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Turns out all the body augmentations in the world can't make up for, shitty sales.
You should have bought it.
I'm sorry!
Yes, according to Eurogamer, the series has been put on ice for the immediate future, which will be a bummer for fans of the series considering the most recent game, Mankind Divided, left us with a number of dangling plot points that were supposed to be resolved with a third game that would follow Human Revolution and Mankind Divided.
Crap, now we have another Half-Life 3 on our hands.
It's a sad possible ending to the Cyberpunk franchise, which just a few years ago looked like it was poised for a big expansion. Deus Ex dates back to 2000 and was developed by the legendary director Warren Spector. The original game won praise for its cyberpunk dystopian world set in the year 2052, which starred J.C. Denton, the nanotech-powered anti-terrorist agent.
The series was rebooted by Eidos Montreal in 2011 with Deus Ex Human Revolution, which was a prequel to the original game. Human Revolution followed Adam Jenzen, a former SWAT officer employed by Seraph Industries, which was researching artificial organs called augmentations. Like the original Deus Ex, it revolved around conspiracy theories in a cyberpunk setting, and it was a hit, selling 2.18 million copies in North America and Europe by the end of 2011. Critics loved it too. The PC version got a 90 Metacritic score, and the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions got 89. So
It was a good game.
good game!
Those sales brought expanded plans for the future of Deus Ex.
Eidos Montreal and parent company Square Enix, also known as Squeenix, jumped on the game's popularity in 2013. They announced the Deus Ex Universe, which they described as an ongoing, expanding, and connected game world built across a generation of core games.
David Anfossi, head of Eidos Montreal Studio, wrote in a blog post, "It's a commitment on our part to deliver meaningful content that expands the franchise on a regular basis and to deliver a deep conspiracy that will span several connected Deus Ex games, creating a more immersive and richer experience than ever before."
And it wasn't going to just include video games either. The new Deus Ex Universe was also going to include other media like tablets and smartphones, books, and graphic novels.
So needless to say, the studio had a lot planned for Human Revolution's follow-up games. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which was set 2 years after Human Revolution, but that game reportedly got too large in scope and had to be curtailed according to Eurogamer. Development ultimately took 5 years for Mankind Divided, which released last year.
And there were other signs that Mankind Divided might have problems. For one, its pre-order system also was controversial among fans, to say the least.
You could say that.
The pre-order system had tiered reward levels from 1 to 5. It was similar to Kickstarter's reward system in that buyers got to choose what they got depending on what tier they were in. Fans hated it, and the system was eventually canceled.
Ultimately, when Mankind Divided finally released, it didn't sell as well as its predecessor. While it was the best-selling retail game in the UK during the week of its release in August, it didn't hit the numbers that Human Revolution did. It was the third best-selling game in the US during its launch week before dropping off.
But like we said, Mankind Divided's plot left a number of dangling storylines, so what happens to the story from here?
Well, there has been DLC released with the game, but it's focused on standalone stories instead of the main narrative. A final pack from the game's season pass is scheduled to be released on February 23rd, but that acts as a prequel to the main game and isn't supposed to wrap up any plot points.
All of which means we could be waiting for a long time to see how the storyline in Deus Ex shakes out.
So why did the series get put on hold? Sales are obviously the main factor, but Square Enix recently announced partnership with Marvel could be another one. You might remember that the two companies announced a partnership recently in which some Square Enix developers, including Eidos Montreal, will be developing games based on Marvel superheroes.
As a part of that, Eidos Montreal is now working on a new Avengers game with another Square Enix studio, Crystal Dynamics.
After a brief announcement and trailer earlier this month, Square Enix has said it won't say anything more on the Marvel project until next year.
But Eidos Montreal also has other games on its to-do list. Eurogamer reported that currently most of the studio is working on the next Tomb Raider game, which was leaked online last year, as well as the new Guardians of the Galaxy game.
All of this means that Square Enix is probably pivoting away from Deus Ex while it works on higher profile games.
Eurogamer got the following response from Eidos Montreal when it inquired about the future of Deus Ex. While we are still working on expanding the Deus Ex universe, along with creating new content and updates for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, we are also devoting our talents towards working with Crystal Dynamics and Marvel on the Avengers project.
So there you go. What do you think of Deus Ex franchise being put on hold? Were you looking forward to another game? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your Deus Ex, Marvel, and Square Enix, and hopefully Kingdom Hearts coming out soon news, don't shake your head at me, Gus!
Every time.
Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Know. I know.
It's real.
I know.
If I'm not getting Deus Ex, you're not getting Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, crushed.
And to deliver a deep conspiracy that will spawn several I got a bug on me. I think it flew on me.
See, this is why you don't pick it up. Now I didn't print it on you.
See? All right.